Today we're going to be doing a video on this 7mm PRC rifle yet again. This is a full custom rifle. It's got a Terminus Kratos action, an MDT HNT26 chassis, an MDT Skypod, an MDT brake, Athlon Aries scope, some Warne rings, and an MDT magazine. The main thing that we're going to be testing today with this little batch of load development is going to be the 168 grain cutting edge MTH bullets, I believe is what they're technically called. And we're going to be trying some different powders with them. Now, for those of you that are interested in all the details on the specs on the rifle, the components, the equipment, the bullets and everything, all that's going to be in the description below the video. I put that down there all the time for you guys that are wanting to get written out details on all this stuff. So with that being said, we have Peterson brass, we got Federal Gold Medal Match large rifle Magnum primers, the 168 grain cutting edge MTH bullets, and we're going to be using 6 different powders, I believe, or 5. We've got Vihtavouri N565, Rotumbo H1000, H4831 shortcut, and Reloader 26. Now I did shoot, actually we have 6. There's another group with N560, Vihtavouri N560. So we're shooting at roughly 100 yards. It's a little bit shorter than that, but everybody gets pissed off when I say anything other than 100. So 100 it is, but just understand it is just a hair short of that. So we're going to be starting with Vihtavouri N565, and then we're just gonna go down this list. But we are going to be shooting 3-shot groups. I know that pisses some people off, but these bullets are really expensive. So 3-shot groups it is. And we're going, I already put a sight-in group because I freshly cleaned the barrel. So the barrel was fully cleaned. All the copper was removed and everything. I know you guys have been telling me that that's really important. So we went ahead and did that. We completely stripped this barrel clean of all copper, lead, blah, blah, blah. And, or I should have said carbon, but the point is, I just shot 5 shots with these bullets to foul the gun, and we're gonna run the test. So the first group that we're going to shoot is going to be 64 grains of Vihtavouri N565. Okay, this first group's gonna be going right up on the top left diamond on the target. .28-32. .28-02. .27-99. So this thing's actually putting off a lot of smoke because of the conditions we've got outside today. It's pretty cold, so I'm getting kind of like a fog from shooting. So it took me a second to kind of let the smoke clear a little bit so I could see the group a little better. But that was a really good group, obviously. Like, that was phenomenal. But the velocity wasn't as consistent as I would have liked it to be. We were looking at an average of 28-11, an extreme spread of 32, and a standard deviation of 14. So we're going to move on to the next group here. But overall, the accuracy potential right out of the gate is looking pretty darn good. So that's cool. I didn't load these things up to like max charges by any means, so the speed's a little slower than I'd like to see. But that's okay, because we're not trying to burn these things to the ground. And honestly, milder charge is going to do me favors, because I'd like to get through this test relatively quickly so that we can move on to the other 4 guns that we're hoping to test today before the sun goes down. Okay, next up we got 65 grains of Rotumbo by Hodgdon. We're going to be going for the top of the center diamond. .27-65. .27-28. Ooh, that group opened up quite a bit compared to that last one. That first one was awesome. Okay, average velocity was 27-38, extreme spread of 42, and a standard deviation of 19. So that actually kind of sucked all the way around. The accuracy wasn't very good, and the velocity spread was pretty bad. Next up, we got 66 grains of Hodgdon H1000. Going for the top right diamond here. .28-87. .28-87. Well, actually, that didn't even catch that velocity. That might be the first time I've ever seen the Garmin not pick up on a shot that was actually not like my fault. At least not that I can tell. .28-82. So this is completely unfair because we actually only picked up 2 shots on that. Now the accuracy wasn't good to begin with, so it's not really all that big of a deal anyway. But our average velocity was 2784, or I'm sorry, 2884. The extreme spread was 5.3, and the standard deviation was 3. So obviously really good, but when you only have 2 shots, that kind of messes things up a little bit. Not that 3 is all that much better, but it is still technically 50% better than 2. So accuracy wasn't impressive to begin with. That first group was awesome. The rest have kind of just been eh. So we're gonna let the gun cool down for a little while because it's pretty cold out today, but we are running through these pretty quick, which is not ideal, but when you're crunched on time, you just kind of work with what you've got. So we're gonna let it cool off for a little bit, try to let the inside of the bore not be flaming hot, and then we're going to shoot the last 9, which will be the other half of the test, and then we'll continue. Okay, so we gave the gun a good while to cool off. We are going to move on with 61.0 grains of Hodgdon H4831 shortcut. 3 rounds are going to go right on the left side of the center diamond. .2781, 2772, 2761. All right, our average velocity was 2772, extreme spread of 20, and a standard deviation of 8. So that's actually pretty good as far as velocity is concerned, but the group still wasn't all that impressive. If I went back to cold bore, I mean, like, let this thing completely cool off, all of these groups may shrink, but I just don't have all day to test one rifle. It makes me sound really crappy, but it just takes too long. I mean, and I don't know, it may have nothing to do with it. It is pretty cold today, so this thing's not getting super hot to begin with, but I would like to see if that would make a difference, but again, it would just take too long to let this thing completely cool back down to cold bore. So we are going to move on, regardless, to 62 grains of Alliant Reloader 26. Okay, this next group is gonna go right in the center of the center diamond, right in the dead center bullseye, hopefully. I moved the point of aim over left a little bit, so we actually might hit right in the middle. A lot closer. Wow, 2897. I think that's fastest velocity we've had all day. .2820, holy crap. That's a pretty big difference. Man, that's a huge spread on that one. Golly. .2825. I don't know what was up with that first velocity. Maybe that did have something to do with the fact that we're switching back and forth between powders so quickly, but that was like a really big jump. The group, it really wasn't bad. Compared to a lot of these other groups, it actually looked pretty good, but that first group still just stands above and beyond all the rest. I know this is about to be ugly. Average velocity of 2847, extreme spread of 77, and a standard deviation of 35. Those numbers would be great if we were trying to get a high score, which we are not. The next and the last group that we will be firing will be 64.0 grains of Vihtavouri in 560, and we are going to be going for the right of the center diamond. .2893, some serious speed again. We'll see if it drops off like it did last time. .2919, not super consistent velocity, but it is fast. Dang, had to blow it. Average velocity of 2910, extreme spread of 26, and a standard deviation of 12. So ultimately, that one was probably the fastest one that we had, but the group still wasn't that good. And ultimately, also, this target really wasn't all that impressive. Like, for this level of gun, I didn't shoot that many really, really good groups. I mean, that first one was exceptional. The rest of them were just kind of okay, and in some cases really not good, to be totally honest. But nonetheless, as always, it is a learning experience, and we are gathering data. So I may shoot the rest of that box up of the cutting edge bullets that I have, but I don't know that I'm going to test this bullet again unless I just test that first one just because it shot so good. But I'd really like to shoot some heavier bullets in this gun. I kind of want to go back to the Berger 195s and play with it more. That's probably what I'll settle on for my ultimate hunting load if I can get some good speed out of it, which I believe that we can with the accuracy. And the accuracy is the most important part, which we've seen that this gun can do, but I would also like to get good enough velocity to utilize the BC on those very accurate bullets. So that is going to conclude our test. I want to thank you guys for watching. Truly, I cannot express to you how much I appreciate the support. I hope that you'll catch us on the next video. Remember to glorify God in all that you do. Stay risen, take care, be safe, and we will see you in the next one.